Yeah, I'm doing it. We're live. It's a holiday. And pin the comment. Yeah.
Got it.
Yay.
Got him.
I love this holiday because it's non-denominational. Unless you consider Jedi to be a major domination. Denomination?
Denomination?
No.
A major religion?
A major domination would be Sith.
That's Sith, yeah.
Yes, okay.
It's different.
But my mom sent me a Hallmark card today, and I was like, that's so cute.
It's,
Hi, Carly. Hi, Aiden. Oh, we got some friends coming in. It's like you guys know what we're doing today.
What are we doing today?
I don't know. I'm sitting next to you.
Same thing we do every day? Oh, wait,
no,
wrong cartoon.
No. We're looking for some sort of tool that would fuse wood and metal together. Do they have those yet? Does anyone know if they have those yet? Oh, okay.
You're calling me a tool? Like 10 minutes too late.
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Punchline.
And I am just working on... There we go. Okay, hopefully that'll work. And we can start the show officially. Oh, Carly says we have to wait 20 years for a device that would do that.
20 years?
20 years, yeah.
There we go.
Hey!
There he
I somehow made it work.
Nice. Yep,
I was just typing in, how do I join you guys? Because you said there was some gray thing down here, and I didn't, and then it just popped up, and I was like,
perfect.
Okay. Oh, there's Carly. Hi, Carly.
Let's do the thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stay at Home and Disney, our nightly live stream where we stay at home and talk about Disney. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We bring on guests pretty frequently at this point. Tonight we are joined by Mr. Dan Povenimre. You guys
That's me.
May or may not have heard of him.
He's a cool dude.
I feel like I have to look up to see you guys.
What's that?
I feel like I need to look up to see you guys.
Yeah, no, that works. I'll send you a screenshot of that later.
Okay.
So, for those of you who are series regulars, if you don't know, Dan is one of the two creators of Phineas and Ferb. We had Swampy on about a month ago to talk about Herbie the Love Bug, and tonight we have Dan joining us to talk about a movie.
We're not allowed to go on anything together because restraining orders.
I mean, I've been on rides with you guys together, and I understand.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not
this must have been in the pre-restraining order times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're also both enjoying Scum and Villainy Cantina did a curbside pickup of their blue milk today. So
excellent.
Yeah.
But unlike this movie, they don't have blue ice cream.
Oh,
yes.
That's too bad.
And neither does Galaxy's Edge, for that matter. And I've been
no, and I don't know.
since it
I don't
opened.
know why they don't. It's a strange thing.
We showed Jim Donnelly this movie last night, and he had never seen the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special. Words are hard.
Yes.
And he was like, as soon as that scene came up, he's like, why does nobody sell blue ice cream? What is
I know.
Like it clicked with him, like, oh my god.
I've been saying it since it was our second or third visit, and it was during the period when you couldn't leave but you would come back.
Right.
And so basically your only food options were their one like quick service restaurant and blue milk and also Ronto roasters, but that was it. You could and the popcorn. But there's no like sweet
and Oga's
treat.
If you could get it.
Yeah, that's a separate issue.
Well, the blue milk is a little sweet.
Exactly.
Theirs is very different than
it's like
Scum and Villainy.
a very thin. It's like a very thin slushy.
Yeah.
It's like coconut milk based, I think.
And and it's also like the green milk tastes like your like essential oils, basically.
We've heard that they're really good if you mix them together, like 50-50.
That's not a good description of anything you're putting in your mouth.
It's really, I'm not a fan. A lot of people like it. If you like it, good on you.
I don't see myself ever getting one to drink alone at this point. But whenever a friend gets one, I always want to have a sip of it. Like I like it that much, but I don't like it. I don't like it this much.
Right? Yes.
Hey, Sam.
Exactly. It's good to have a little bit of somebody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like
that kind of.
If I go with a group, I mean, obviously not now that we're all social distancing and we can't drink out of each other's cups and everything.
You want to drink out of my cup?
No!
See, that's a good example.
Historically, if I went with a group, I'm like, 6 of us can buy one, and then we'll just all have a sip, and then we'll be good. That's all we need.
Carly says a random lady at Disney once let her taste her blue milk, and
oh, this is where it all started.
That was probably patient zero. That's probably that's where how COVID starts.
But it might be, yeah. I saw somebody like a lightsaber right before this started.
Yeah.
But he didn't get COVID, so
that's good.
Yeah.
He burned it off.
Did you follow him around to see what happened?
Fair.
If you guys have any questions for
we actually already
Dan
have questions
or
in the question
ourselves, put them. Yeah, don't ask them in the thread because we will lose them in all the comments and everything. Put them at the very bottom. There's a little question mark box. Submit them there so we don't lose them and we can try to get to.
One of the questions was from Dan asking how to join us. Thank you for asking the question box.
That was my first question. Okay, I'm here. I'm watching you guys. I don't know how I'm supposed to, it's like there's a bunch of weird icons at the bottom. One says I should make a paper airplane. One says I should smile and put a hole in my head, and one says I should roll over.
Have you watched the Parks and Rec reunion yet?
No. I never watched Parks and Rec.
You would enjoy it very much.
I know. I'm supposed to get, I watched the first episode and it didn't grab me, and then I never went back. And then like a couple seasons in, people were like, "It's become so amazing, you've got to watch it." But I was
have to get to season 2.
Don't I have to like watch all of it? And it was too hard. But now that it's bingeable.
Like, you throw it on while you do the laundry or whatever for the first season, or then jump in.
For instance, while you're doing touch-up work on the new Phineas and Ferb.
Yes,
coming out. It's a good
while I'm doing actual cleanup and color and backgrounds and all the things I haven't done in 25 years because I'm the only artist left on staff.
What's that experience like, jumping back into all of those?
It's really sort of fun. It's like, okay, part of it is that our overseas studios are really taxed to the maximum because a lot of them have shut down and they don't and some of their people can work from home. Some of their people have the technology to work from home and some of them don't. So they have a lot less artists over there. They're doing our retakes and we're just sort of like, anything that we can fix here, we should try to fix. And sometimes it's just like, I could send this over, but I'm probably going to make more notes on it because they're not, it's such a subtle difference that they're not going to get it right. Or this is like, oh, I know exactly what I need, but for me to try to describe it to them is going to take too long. And I happen to be home all the day now anyway, so I'll do these animation drawings myself.
That was my first comment when I saw that you were doing that. I was like, well, you must be saving some time not writing notes.
Yes, exactly. Well, I've always been a very fast artist. I'm usually the fastest guy at whatever studio I'm at. So I do have to make that calculation a lot when I'm giving notes. It's like, okay, I'm going to give this note to this guy. He's going to go or this girl, and they're going to go take it and bring it back. And I may still have notes on it, and they're not going to bring it back till tomorrow. But if I just take it right now, it'll be done in 5 minutes, and I won't have to make notes. I have to weigh that. How much is my time worth right now to just fix this the way I want it? It's why I ended up on the movie, I ended up boarding a whole bunch of it because then I didn't have to give notes on those boards. because if I did, that would be silly. It's like, hey, you really messed this up.
I mean, you're not like Miyazaki status, but like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I will never forget when you guys toured his studio and you came back and you were like, he does all of his boards? Like, what?
Yes. There was I went through all of Studio Ghibli and realized I had not seen a storyboard department, which is what I'd seen in every studio I'd worked in. There's 9 or 10 people doing storyboards on things. And I had I had a lot of the books of Miyazaki's storyboards, and they all look like they're drawn with one hand. And I asked the lady who was giving us the tour, and I was like, So I've noticed there's not a storyboard department here. She's, oh no, Miyazaki does all of them by himself. All the storyboards come
I
from
was
the
gonna
director.
say a lot of his characters, like they all have like a very similar style, and I guess
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense now. Like
yeah,
why
yeah,
that's because it's all him.
yeah.
Um,
It was very cool.
so
We have a lot
I
of
also
notes on this. Wait, oh, yeah,
oh I was gonna say I also imagine like with what you guys were trying to do with the Star Wars special, you're sort of skating the line a little bit on some of the stuff, and I'm sure you had a very
What line is that you're talking about?
I don't know, some sort of fictional imaginary line. Yeah, I can imagine that doing it yourself at that point, you're like, I know that it needs to be this, and it's going to
Yeah,
here. So like, it's just
yeah.
easier for you to pop.
Well, a lot of the times, especially like musical numbers, by that point in the production on Phineas, we had Wendy Grebe dedicated just to musical numbers, and she could do dance poses and stuff like that. But there would still be moments where I was like, oh, what this needs is like 3 shots instead of 1 here, and it should be this, and and then I would just do it because I was always the musical number guy
that's like
at
your
Family Guy.
thing.
Yeah, it's because I just understand choreography in a way that most animators don't necessarily. Animators sitting in I've been in theaters, in dinner theater musicals and stuff like that, and so I have a certain amount of understanding of choreography.
We toured the Family Guy studio a few months ago, and we were seeing your work on the walls still.
Really?
In a few spots, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I know Dan did that.
That's very funny because now when I call there, I often have to like spell my last name if I'm.
Well, they don't know.
Who's calling?
Like,
It's Dan Povenimre. Can you spell that for me? I was like, are you serious right now? Okay, yes. But I guess I've been gone for 15 years or something. 16 years,
wow.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I've known you for 10 years, and like that was already in the past when we met.
It was, yeah, exactly. It's so even though like most of the all the directors now there are people who are storyboard artists. When I was there, there's a couple of directors that are still directing there. It's like I know a lot of the staff, but it's it's a very different place. It's a lot quieter since like me and 2 other people left. It used to be a much more raucous environment there all the time, and when I go visit now, I'm like, it's like a library here. What was I? I guess I was the loud one then. I think that's what it really comes down to. Well, it was like me and Perry Zambala.
I have no idea what that's like.
We're very subdued people.
Yeah, it was like me and Perry Zambala and like Dave Bonanno. It was like between us, we made enough noise for an entire crew.
So back to the movie. What made you guys want to make this Star Wars special?
Well, we had made this Marvel special because Disney bought Marvel, and suddenly they said, "Hey, do you want to do a crossover with the Marvel characters?" And we were like, "That'll be fun!" And it turned out really well. And Jeff Loeb was thrilled with it. We were thrilled with it, and we were I think we were actually maybe mixing that special. And the post-production supervisor was on her phone at the mix, and she went, "Oh my goodness!" And we said, "What?" And she was like, "Disney just bought Lucasfilm for $44 billion or whatever it was." And Swami and I just looked at each other, and I immediately drew Doofenshmirtz as Darth Vader, and I took a picture of it, and I texted it to the head of the studio, Eric Coleman at the time. And I said, "I smell crossover," and I just texted it to him like that. And he texted back and he said, "No, seriously, I'm here with the head of the channel," and it was the first thing that we said too. So this was like on a Thursday or a Tuesday or something. I think we were mixing on Tuesdays, and that Friday they were both in a meeting with Bob Iger, And Eric said at the end of the meeting, he says, "Oh, and one more thing." And he called up that picture I drew on his phone, and he just slid it across the table to Bob Iger and said, "Dan Povenimre texted me this." And he went, "Yeah, we got to get on that right away."
That was it. You guys were the
I didn't have
first
to pitch
one.
it to anybody, anything. It was like it was literally just that thing happened, and you know.
You guys were literally like some of the first Disney Star Wars like content to be made, which is insane.
We were the first crossover at all, and I love the way we did the crossover, where we did this sort of. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, or if you've seen the short Bernie, that goes after Wally. I love doing that with it rather than, you know, like Family Guy did a pretty good job of.
Oh, they have a wonderful special
of doing their characters as the characters and just retelling that story. And it was like, I think it'll be much more interesting if we come up with our own story, that if we can make our own story sort of compelling and have it constantly happening at the same time, and crossing paths with Star Wars. And we just left Star Wars absolutely alone, which was, you know, I think an easier pitch.
But you didn't leave Star Wars alone, because I can't watch Star Wars now without thinking that Phineas and Ferb are the friends that Luke is talking
that's right.
about.
While Luke is watching the sunset, if we just widened out, we'd see like Perry the Platypus bringing R2-D2
out of the.
Now, and despite that, you still put a little disclaimer at the start of the movie that says, and it's all none of it's canon.
None of this is canon, so just relax. Yes.
Yeah. Did you get pushback despite that? Or did people look at it?
No. People have had it's a weird thing, because it did not get a huge viewership when it aired, and Gary, the head of the channel, is like, you know, we know that people are going to find this and love it when they get on. Sometimes it's just the day that you put it on. There's a bunch of other stuff happening that we do, you know. But it was not one of the highest rated specials that we did at all.
And so I think it's
now
wonderful.
People are discovering it on Disney Plus. And it's like, how did I never see this? And it's like, I don't know, it was something about that weekend that it aired or something, but
like look up when it came out exactly and see what was going on.
there were, you know, I don't know if it was like final exams at that time, or, you know, like who knows what the heck it was.
Any number of things could have been. I mean, and it was I think it fits really well, because it's in like essentially the EU, right? Like it's Star Wars Expanded Universe.
For
whatever.
What do they call it now? Like Legends?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's something
because
like that.
It doesn't affect the film in and of itself. It doesn't change the film technically. I think that even people who are like diehard Star Wars fans that don't touch A New Hope or any of that,
even they know how to have fun. Sometimes. Now, because of that, though, this movie probably has the highest death toll of any Phineas and Ferb episode.
Of any Phineas and Ferb episode, for sure.
Definitely.
Although in this movie we actually rescued all the just workers.
That's right.
So it's just the soldiers that die at the end.
But the captain that brought Darth Vader's knot socks,
when he brought him the hoagie,
I don't think he made it out.
No, he didn't make it out.
And
that was
we
Simon
actually
Pegg, I believe. I believe that's Simon Pegg.
Oh yeah,
the voice cast of this movie. Oh yeah, we have it playing in the
background, and Sarah was like, "Oh man, he choked that guy," and then the guy didn't go, "I'm okay."
Yeah, but these guys all just did.
He actually died. Yes.
Yeah, we're okay.
I always love that gag. I love that in the racing episode. Everyone crashes and piles up.
We're okay.
I also love how safety first the show has always been with like the helmets.
Yeah.
Like you guys always find a way to make that funny, and I think that's so great because
we're being forced to do it. We better make it a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, how come like most shows haven't figured that out? Just like, you know, lamplight it. Just like, you know.
Yes. We try to hang a lantern on anything really stupid that we have to do.
I remember you years ago when we all went to Disneyland together, you telling us about the race car scene. I think it was just shortly after it had aired.
It would have been a few years after, yeah.
And and telling us that, like, yeah, they wanted us to make sure that everybody knew everyone was okay. So we're like, we're okay.
We're okay. Yeah. So,
gag.
and then it became a running gag throughout
Yeah.
the series.
And that's
So,
what I love about this show is that, like, you guys would, like, do stuff and then you go, we can keep doing it, and, like, kept adding.
Yeah, it's like somebody would see something funny in one episode and they'd write something and use that in the next episode, and then somebody else like, oh, now it's a bit. Now we got, like, And I remember watching some episode with a friend of my wife's and her daughter, and they were big fans of the show, but they were at the house and it was on, so the kids were watching it, and it was and the giant floating baby head, went through the screen, and the mom turned to me and said, the giant floating baby head. Like she's so excited to see it. It was like, it was like 2 seasons after it had appeared.
That's how I feel about the giant floating baby head.
Yes, it's like, there he is, look. It was really fun.
Okay, let us know in the comments, guys. What's your favorite recurring Phineas and Ferb gag?
Oh yeah, I'm interested to see that.
And while we're talking about that,
yeah, it was Jim Cummings. Somebody said it was Jim Cummings in the opening, and it was.
That was the first time I ever realized that was last night when we rewatched it.
Yeah, and it's because when he does, like, do it funnier, and he does basically sort of like Tigger's voice.
Yes, exactly.
For that. And yeah, I was like,
no,
it has to be Jim Cummings, right?
We're like, wait.
Yeah, that's me and Swampy giving him notes.
We spend a lot of time hanging out on It in Galaxy's Edge, so we hear him as the voice
of Hondo Naka.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we hear him.
So he's in everything. Jim is in everything.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Such a versatile voice.
When because they got so excited about this special right off the bat, before even the ink was dry on the contracts.
Yeah.
They told us, go ahead and start developing it and figure out what story you're going to do and stuff like that. Because we have these 3 or 5 specials coming up, and you can make one of these specials a Star Wars special. Probably, like, we're almost positive. We've talked to the Lucasfilm people, and they're really big fans of Phineas and Ferb, so it shouldn't be a problem at all. But don't like just make it secret. Don't let anybody know. So we had one of the bullpens we just closed all the doors to, and it had all of our Star Wars memorabilia, all of our references and everything like that in it. And that was the secret place. And we were getting really close to the okay, you can do this stage. And the executives, talked to me and said, look, we just want to make sure, because we think this is absolutely going to happen, and we want you to go ahead and start working on it, but we may have to pull you off of it if it falls through for some reason. And the way to keep it from falling through is don't let anybody talk about it, because the one thing that could sort of queer this deal is if for some reason somebody talks about it and it gets onto the internet as this is actually happening, because we were already starting to storyboard and we did not have a green light for it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it was like super secret. Do not let anybody know that this is happening, because if Lucasfilm sees that it's already released, they may go, no, wait a second,
Yeah.
And so I went back and I had this talk with my whole crew. I called the whole crew together and I said, okay, the first rule about the Star Wars special is we do not talk about the Star Wars special.
Wow.
The second rule about the Star Wars special is we do not talk about the Star Wars special. And I said, you don't tell your hairdresser, don't tell your family, don't tell anybody that you're doing this until we get the green light on this, which should be coming next week. But I do not want to see anything of this online.
Because it might not happen at that point, and that would hurt everyone.
Yes. And then I get home, and my wife and I are going out to dinner at a friend's house, and she's all dressed and I'm dressed, and I go down just to check my Twitter in my office, and somebody has said, at Dan Povenimre, please tell me this is really happening. And I was like, what is he talking about? And I clicked on it, and it's a picture of one of our, it's the picture from the T-shirt that we made of Ferb as Darth Maul and Phineas having a lightsaber battle. It was done by Kyle Menke. It was a pre-production, like a way we were going to sell it to everybody. It's this beautiful color image, and it's a photo of that image pinned up on our walls at work.
Oh no.
And I'm like, who was not paying attention? Who am I going to have to fire? Who's the idiot?
Someone not on your crew,
who did
probably.
this? And I'm like trying to trace it back. You know, you click on it to see who was the original poster of it. And it looks like, oh my God, it's somehow coming from what looks like my account. Has somebody hacked my account? And I'm like, oh my God, what? How is
the call is coming from inside the house?
Yes,
oh
it was
God.
that kind of thing. It was like, and suddenly I click on it, and I'm like, uh-oh. Oh shit. And I pull out my phone, and I had taken that picture and thought I had sent it to my wife through text, and I must have hit Twitter instead and just said, and then just said go and put it away because it never went to my wife. And I'm like, and it's the exact same picture from my phone, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't like. Then my wife's like, honey, we're going to be late. I was like, hold on, honey. I've got to deal with this one thing. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I thought, okay, here's the thing. If I pull it down right now, because I can delete this, because it's my account. If I pull it down right now, people are going to know that I posted it and pulled it down, and it's going to become a thing.
Yeah.
All I did was post the picture. I didn't say anything about it. Sometimes I've posted, you know, fan art and stuff like that. The question was, please tell me this is really happening. And I said, no, that was just for fun. I sent that, and then I did the hardest thing, which was I walked away from it and I left that up on the internet for 24 hours.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, please don't let anybody find this and come and find me and stuff. And I just like went about my business, and the next day, 24 hours, because the thing about Twitter is that it's immediate and it's all over the place and anybody can see it, but it falls off the feed and then it becomes very hard to find.
Yeah.
So 24 hours later, I deleted it so nobody could go back and find it again. Right?
Nice.
Don't worry, you're not like Tom Holland level.
Oh my God.
He leaked some stuff.
And it worked. And it absolutely worked. Nobody figured it out.
While you were telling that story, one of our regular viewers, CJ, commented it was swampy.
No, it was not swampy. It was me. It was
Unless you got your phone while you were
I'm the guy
looking.
I should have fired. So it worked, but it was this near Twitter catastrophe.
Wow.
that I was like, I should not be allowed to operate social media. And I thought about all the people who had tweeted, like all the actresses who had accidentally tweeted topless pictures and stuff like that, and I was like, how, that's got to be on purpose. You're not like, I thought I was texting my boyfriend. Like, well, no, they don't look alike at all. And I had to apologize in my mind to all of them, because obviously they look like, if you're in a hurry, you know, like I think if it had been a nude photo of me, I might have been a little more careful, but it was something I really wasn't planning at all.
That is fantastic.
That was very funny.
Somebody in the questions here, we won't like put it up, but somebody's like, Neil, wherever would you find that adorable T-shirt you're wearing? And both of these T-shirts are available on our shop, The Adventure Effect. Find it in Sarah's profile.
Yeah, I'll actually explain my T-shirt for a second because you kind of can't see it.
I can't see it.
So you remember on Star Tours there was Captain Rex, the original Star Tours?
Right.
So on Batu now, at Oga's Cantina, you can hear DJ Rex, who has now crash landed on Batu, spinning some tunes. So we made a tour T-shirt for him.
Excellent.
So it's DJ Rex 2019 tour, the Lightspeed to End tour.
Excellent.
And on the back, you can kind of
see. And then all of the locations that classic Star Tours used to visit, with the canceled Death Star location.
Very good.
Cancel that part of the tour.
Yeah. I've been made up as Leia since like 10 a.m. because I was on Seven Villainies live stream this morning. So this is my life now.
Excellent. Well, luckily you don't have to go outside, so nobody questions it.
Well, we did have to go outside, but we went to Scum and Villainy to do like curbside
okay.
pickups. So
Everyone who picks up from
nice
them
buns
is
at me when
dressed.
we park.
I don't know about that, but when we got out of the car here, somebody was like, "May the force be with you," and I was like, "How does he?" Because I wasn't wearing the shirt at the time. Because I was like, "How does he know?" And I was, "Oh, right,
That was me.
those, yeah."
Okay. It's like I'm not dressed in any particular. Oh yes,
Yeah, right.
Sitting next to Princess Leia.
I was wearing a Scum and Villainy
sitting next
T-shirt,
to
and I
him.
was like, "Nah, he probably doesn't know what that's about."
Very funny.
Now, a little while back in the comments, everybody let us know their favorite gags, and I saw a lot of my favorites. The one that surprised me the most, because I just never thought about it as being a recurring gag, is the bird crashing into tall objects.
Oh yeah.
It never struck me as like, that's a recurring gag. I'm like, it sure is though.
We've heard a lot of birds. The other thing that I like is that almost any time someone throws anything off screen in Phineas and Ferb, it hits a cat off screen.
Yeah.
There's always a fun meow like that. There's a lot of cats that are just off screen in Phineas and Ferb.
And in the special, I mean, we've got a lot of the recurring ones, and then also some new ones like the Death Star plans, which like the little DVD or CD-ROM with the Death Star plans is probably my favorite little gag in the movie, because when I told you and Swampy that I really wanted a copy for myself, you guys joked really like, yeah, we'll just rip one for you, and then we'll write Death Star plans on the disc. And now I'm just like, that's mine. Every time I can watch it, I'm like, it's mine.
That's my disc right there.
I've got that. I've got the Death Star plans.
Oh,
this is what everybody's been looking for, and I have it at home.
No wonder things didn't end well. You kept the plans to your damn self. You should have given those to the rebels.
But this movie is so full of relatable gags. Like when the entire ship is tilting sideways, and all of the stormtroopers are hitting save on their computers and everything.
Oh yes.
When they're in the office building.
Yes, and all of the cubicles are going sideways. I love that.
Save. Somebody else said all of the gags about Doofenshmirtz's youth in
oh my
God.
all his tragic backstories.
Yeah.
I was listening to Second Dimension
in the days of my youth.
I was listening to Second Dimension in the car today when I was running my errands, and I was just there's that song that you sing with you. And
I found a brand new best friend, and it's me. Yes.
And yeah, I was just thinking about it's just that one backstory that changed. That's it.
Yes, that's it. Everybody else says, it was just not finding the choo-choo.
That was the linchpin right there.
Yes, exactly. That's all it took. Those backstories were not in our original pitch of the show at all. That happened 3 episodes in. We gave a story to Chris Hedrick and John Barry, and said, and I think they even asked us in the handout, so why is it that he's trying to destroy lawn gnomes? It's I don't know, it's make something up if you want. I don't get this. And then we came back in and they had this tragic backstory that they had written. And Swampy and I were just in tears at the pitch. And we were like, oh, this is good. We're going to have to do this again. There's a lot of things that became running gags, like the tri-state area, taking over the tri-state area. That was Sherm Cohen had done this board where he rises on a riser in front of an enormous Dr. Strangelove map of the world, and he says, "I'm going to take over the entire." And he pulls out a magnifying glass and holds it up to this one thing and says, "Tri-state area." That's it. And I love the fact that he had manageable goals, and that just became what he always wanted to do. Those were all, the great thing about you get a crew together of funny people, and you let them play in your sandbox with your toys, and they come up with funnier things to do with them a lot of the time, which is really fun.
A lot of heads thinking about different things, brings a lot of diversity and everything.
A lot of floating baby cooks, mostly.
A lot of
and you try to you try as a showrunner to let yourself be open to other people's ideas. I think that's the most important thing you can do is because I would never give a note because something wasn't exactly the way it was in my mind.
Right.
If the way it was in my mind was funnier or better, I would let that reveal itself to me. But most of the time I would go, okay, that's different. Does it make me laugh? And if it was as good as the thing that was in my mind, I would always let them. I think it's better to get more different people's voices into it. And like when Danny would produce a song, we'd write the songs on guitars and just send him something, usually with like a click track and guitars and us singing, and then we would tell him how we would want it produced. And sometimes he would do something that was not what I had in mind at all, and I would not give him notes right away. I would listen to it for a full 24 hours, and if by the end of 24 hours I still thought it was better the other way, then I'd tell him. But most of the time, by then I'd get used to it, because a lot of it's just like, it's not exactly what I heard in my head. Is it better or worse? Sometimes, it's very easy to think, oh, it's not what I had in my head. I should change it to what I have in my head. But to me, it's more fun if you got a bunch of different people's brains going on in there.
Yeah. I was listening to the Second Dimension, the album that has Second Dimension on it today in the car, and I was realizing, I was like listening to Isabella's song, I was like, I think I was in the room when you wrote this. Like,
oh, it's possible. What's
oh
the
my
song?
God.
What's the song? Do you remember?
It's Isabella's "What You Doing." So, oh no, it's not. So it's from the
musical.
The musical episode. Yeah.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, and I was like,
possibly, because I think because that was a late night session when you were still interning there. I think
so. Yeah.
So,
which is wild for me. I also have had the experience of, like, I used to come and visit you guys, like, even after I was done interning, I'd like go through and I'd like just read the boards, whatever was like sitting out. Yeah. And I remember watching an episode that was new, and like Disney's like, it's a new episode. I was like, yeah, it's a new episode. And I watched it, and I was like, I've seen this. This isn't I read the storyboards for this 2 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
It's a long process.
But the fact that, like, when I read a storyboard, I know the voices so well that I, like, experience the episode as though I had watched it.
Right.
Yeah. And that's when you know, like, you really have
not even like an
shows.
animatic.
Yeah.
Just like,
no,
you're looking
literally,
at boards.
it was. I don't even know if anyone was with me. I think I was just wandering around, like I have a tendency to do. He knows.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how we met.
I want to touch on a couple.
Sarah, actually, I'm going to say, for everyone in the audience, if you ever have an amazing internship at somewhere insane like Disney, do not be shy, because that is literally why we're friends. Is that I had the guts to go down to their floor and say, I love your show. And I love what you do. And they're kind, wonderful humans. And they said, hey, come over.
Yep. Yeah. Take the chance.
Yeah, and I'll never forget, you guys were doing the pitch meeting for what is actually my favorite episode, not because it was the pitch meeting, just because it's my favorite episode, was the Quantum Boogaloo. And I remember laughing so hard at the pitch that I was like in tears.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant storytelling.
Yeah, it was that was a fun, and that's a very complicated one. The whiteboard for that story was like we almost had to do the beautiful mind put strings attached to different things like that, because it was like we wanted to make sure that the confusing Back to the Future 2-ness of it all worked on, like if you went back and looked at it, it all actually held up for the time travel stuff,
which is always
and we wanted to call it Time Machine 2 Quantum Boogaloo, because of breaking to Quantum Boogaloo. And they said it was too long, so we just said, okay, we're just going to call it Quantum Boogaloo.
Which literally we
had that conversation.
Like 2 nights ago, we were talking about Cinderella 3 and their time travel nonsense.
A classic.
And yeah, and we're like, every time somebody makes an imaginary, this movie too, it's always Quantum Boogaloo, or not Quantum, Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. Why is that?
Why is that? And we had to look it up.
No, one of our audience members knew the answer and
like immediately.
Now, so one of our audience members also I think it was Cass, was asking about all of our favorite Star Wars characters, and I thought it'd be nice to actually talk for a second about Star Wars because it's May the 4th.
Yes.
So you obviously were a huge Star Wars fan before this.
Yes.
So what?
I was the very first kid in line for the very first showing of Star Wars in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
I got there 2.5 hours early, and I was only the first kid by about 10 minutes. Like 10,
Oh,
you know, like
Now,
my mom left me off. She said, "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay."
I'm good.
Because
Yeah.
I'd seen the trailer, and I remember seeing the trailer, and I remember having this thought: that is either going to be the most awesome movie of all time or the worst movie of all time.
oh my God.
It's not going to be in between. That's going to just fail miserably, or it will be the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then, like a week or two before it opened in nationally, Time Magazine had it on the cover of their thing, and it said the best movie of the year. And I was like, it's gonna be great. And then I was not even prepared for how great it was.
And then sadly, obviously, let us all down, and nobody likes that movie.
Nobody likes Star Wars.
Yes. So,
I can't.
but so I was a big Star Wars fan for many,
for the
many
two
years.
of us, Star Wars has just always been. You know, it's just part of our existence. I can't imagine what it must have been like to go like, I think I want to see that.
Well, what was weird about it is, and I tried to explain, when the prequels came out, before the prequels came out, we from Nickelodeon, like 6 of us, went to the Universal theaters and sat through the preview in front of 3 different movies, and then went to lunch. And like we paid for a movie, and us and about 50 other people all went to see this, because it was the first new images from the Star Wars universe that we had seen in forever. And my wife, who is much younger than me, and she's from another country, so she's like 10 years younger and from Venezuela, and didn't see Star Wars until she was, in the States,
a very
as an
different
adult
experience.
Yeah, she had a very different, like she liked it, but it wasn't, she had always heard about Star Wars, but before that, so it wasn't like this new thing for her. And I tried to describe to her what Star Wars meant to my generation, and I had to end up describing to her what 1977 was like. You know what I mean? I had to say, okay, there were 3 channels on TV. A movie didn't come on for years, and then it would be cut up with commercials, and it would not be the movie that you saw in the theaters. There were no video games. There weren't even personal calculators. There were no computers. There was no anything. Hey, how's it going?
I was gonna tell you something.
Okay.
You're in
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Hi. Hi, no, come back. We love you. Okay, bye.
That is it.
And I said, what Star Wars did for my generation was it changed the way we played, because I was 12 when Star Wars came out. We would still go out and, like before that, we would go out and we'd play Cowboys and Indians, Cops and Robbers, or Army. That's what you would go out and play as a bunch of guys out in the woods in Mobile, Alabama. You would go around, and suddenly this movie came out and changed everything for us as far as our imagination went. Suddenly it was like, oh, we have this thing that this shared experience that we can all draw on, and we know who, okay, you're Darth Vader, I'm this, like it became this whole other thing of us to imagine and to draw and to, it was amazing. And so, yes, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Now, so to that end, who's your favorite Star Wars character now? And also, who was your favorite character back then? Is that the same? Is it the same?
Or even if you want to pick, from each trilogy.
Yeah, you can have multiple answers. We're not going to tell you.
Well, I don't have any answers for the sequels. Oh, look, there's a dog on my face.
Oh, hello, puppy.
Hey, Benito. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, wait, don't come back. We still love you.
That's okay.
I know.
Yeah, this
Hi,
is
we miss
Benito.
you.
Benito is staying with us for a
I
while.
am a dog and I love everything.
Yes. Very good.
Our whole chat's like, puppy, puppy, puppy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Close the door, please.
Hello.
Okay. You know what? I'm such a non-fan of the prequels that I don't even consider them as existing.
Yeah, I don't have a
It's like-
favorite prequel character.
My
It's,
favorite prequel character would probably be Qui-Gon.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fair.
I
Yeah,
always
that's legit.
err on the side of sort of the grayer Jedi.
Oh, I guess
Yeah, maybe.
okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
And Qui-Gon is
Yeah.
it's Qui-Gon and Mace Windu are considered to be the most of like gray Jedi that are in the Order. So
I guess
like,
I actually like Ewan McGregor's portrayal of the young Obi-Wan. I
Yeah.
think
It's wonderful.
if I were really pressed, I would have to say that because it's the only thing I like in those movies at all.
I just watched Emma the other night, and I was like, "It's Obi-Wan."
Oh, is he in it? That's very funny. In the first one, it's probably Han Solo. It's like he was the one I wanted to be. Like him or Luke, both of those guys. That's who I would always try to be. But I liked Han Solo's guns.
Mhm.
And
and
then,
Han Solo liked Chewie's guns in
That's
the later
true. He's
movies.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I like this thing.
I like this.
Yeah, I like this.
In the last one, I think it's got to be Rey. I think she's so good in it, and I actually believe wholeheartedly that Rise of Skywalker is the third best Star Wars series, which I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this. I think it kicks,
Oh, no.
I think
wouldn't argue.
it kicks Return of the Jedi's, but it's not Empire and it's not the original. But I feel like it has a better turn for the villain than Jedi does
And
by far. It's much more earned.
Today on Disney Plus, right?
Did it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Oh well,
Yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta watch it. Sorry, Dan. It was nice to see it.
It's like the first half of it's a little bit of a mess because it's obvious to me as a viewer that it didn't have somebody really looking over the whole story and in charge of we got Kevin Feige on Marvel really keeping everything in line.
It's
And it felt like
unforgivable
really
to me
went
that they did
off.
Lord of the Rings these three movies. Like,
Yeah.
did they think
Exactly.
they weren't going to make the third one? Like, what happened?
No, it was a little weird because it felt like Rain Johnson sort of went off on a different direction, which would have been fine if that was then the direction they took. But it's obvious from the
But
third
then we
one
kind
that
of veered back.
they
I
spent
think he
half a
actually put us
movie
back on
trying to
course.
veer it back, and then by the time they veered it back, I think that movie works really well.
Yeah.
I think the second half of that movie is as good as those get.
I think the
it's-
first two sequels, like if we had had a more cohesive idea of where the third was ending and how to get there, that the first two sequels would have been better and more well received films.
And
But I agree, like
I
Rise of
still
Skywalker
love
is fantastic.
I love Force Awakens, even though I hate like three things about it. Like literally hate three things.
Yeah.
About it. So
I
know.
almost can't watch it
It's much
because
more
it makes
polarizing.
me so anxious and upset. I can't wait to
Because-
rewatch Rise of Skywalker without crying through the whole movie. I'm sure
Yeah.
eventually
I'm-
I'll
No,
stop
I
crying.
yeah.
I cried
20
in,
years
in
from
Rise
now.
of Skywalker. We went to go see it in Aruba with some of my Venezuelan family and my sister-in-law's husband. He's like one of the other husbands in the family, who's this guy who's chiseled out of rock. He does Ironmans and marathon. He can run a marathon in less than 3 hours or whatever the ridiculous thing is that only the elite athletes can do. He's like this tough guy, but he loves Star Wars, and so we went, and the two of us were crying our eyes out by the end of it. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids were like,
I
"Oh, that was so
absolutely.
Second
you
time
know."
we went to see it, we'd be okay. And I looked
Yeah,
over
so-
at Neil, and he's like ugly crying.
We-
You were crying
yes.
harder than
We-
you did the first time we saw
I think
it.
so. Like we went to see
Yeah.
it together the first time, and then my folks came into town, and we went all as a family. And yeah, I think
It was
like,
like you had an
I cried
empathetic
harder.
reaction to having them with you.
and I'm until I was like 25 maybe, I saw my dad cry like twice, and then like to walk out of this film and we're both like, yeah, I cried like a
Not
baby.
okay.
It was it was a really interesting shared experience
For me, the second time
for us.
through, my problem was that I didn't notice in the first viewing that the medal
Oh.
that was given to Chewie at the end had to be Han's. And when I saw, Leia lying down with it, I was like, oh no, I didn't. I just made the connection. And then at the end of the movie, when Chewie got the medal, I was a mess. And I'd been crying the first time. The second time, it was way worse. So I just eventually someday hope to watch this movie all the way through without crying hysterically through it, because I think it's a different movie at that point.
Yeah.
Now, we have a lot going on here, but one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is there have been some Phineas and Ferb things that Disney has done
in the parks.
And in the parks and crossovers that you guys have gotten to do. Is there a property that Disney doesn't already own that would be like a dream crossover? And is there an attraction that you could envision that would be like a dream attraction?
Like reskin a current attraction or create a new?
I think they ought that it would have been nice to see them do a Phineas and Ferb roller coaster. I think that just makes sense.
I mean, honestly, Goofy Sky School is prime
for it.
For being
love it,
a Phineas and Ferb coaster.
We're good.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb would build a much better roller coaster.
Yeah. But the graphics that they could have made and put up on that would have been great.
I understand the Incredicoaster. The Incredibles is a much bigger fish than us, but to me, the California Screamin', which became the Incredicoaster,
absolutely
is my favorite roller coaster of all time. It's the right length.
How smooth it is.
Has the everything's so smart in it, and everything builds. It's so well designed. That would have been nice, but we weren't even on the air when they did that.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that there's another crossover I can imagine as satisfying as the Star Wars crossover. To me,
that's legit.
Star Wars and Marvel are much dearer to my heart than say Harry Potter, which it was like, too bad they don't have Harry Potter or Star Trek or so. There's other things we could have also done. But I don't think anything would have topped.
Yeah, you'd be more likely to do like a rock show or something with like all your favorite artists almost.
Yeah, which you guys have had a number of good, great artists on the show.
Cameos on your show.
My thought was, and it would be very much more like, yarn between thumbtacks across the room situation.
Yes.
But a Phineas and Ferb Doctor Who crossover.
That's the first thing I thought of too.
You guys know I haven't seen Doctor Who.
I know this is.
I know
it's a sad thing.
Quarantine.
We did do all the Dr. Zone stuff in Milo Murphy's Law. It was all we have a writer who is really into Doctor Who, and so we did a whole our version of Doctor Who all the way through. So.
Which, if you guys haven't watched Milo Murphy's Law, check it out. It is amazing.
I think our audience right now mostly has. We've got people asking like, when's the next season coming and all of that.
I don't. They've gotten bigger, shinier fish to take their minds off stuff. Milo never. And not for lack of it being a good show. I think it's every bit as good as Phineas, but it never got any of the love from Disney trying to get people to go and tune in on it.
It's like they didn't know how to market it.
Well, there were a lot of things going on at the time. They were trying to. They had sort of ghettoized cartoons by putting them on XD, which wasn't their intention. Their intention was to try to prop up SG, but or XG,
but we can rebrand
it. It didn't work the way they wanted it to, and what it ended up doing was just sort of like nobody saw those cartoons that were made for that channel.
It's like they didn't understand that girls watch cartoons too.
Yeah.
Maybe there were a lot of problems with that. I don't want to get into all of that, but
now we have Disney Plus, so all of these series get a second life, and everyone has a chance to really watch them in a different way.
Yeah, if Milo ever really suddenly takes hold in Disney Plus, I'm sure we'll do a third season.
So everyone asking in the comments, go watch
Milo
it on Disney
Go
Plus.
watch Milo.
I am so proud of that show. I think
it's wonderful. And it's so good.
I think. And it doesn't have a platypus in it, but that's about it. But otherwise, if you like Phineas and Ferb, you're going to like, well, it does in the second season a little bit.
It's like your weird brains continued to be
Yes.
weird and made
Exactly.
more awesome stuff.
And also
Yeah.
featuring Weird Al and
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
Kate McCucci and a lot of other
I
fantastic
love her. She voices
voice
me, so I love
actors.
her.
Yes.
But like, I also just
Yeah.
love her.
No, it was a joy to work on. We had a great time. We did 2 really great seasons that I'm proud of, and then they wanted more Phineas. So now I'm doing this movie for Disney Plus. Be out
So-
sometime this year.
On that note, somebody in the comments earlier asked if, and I'll frame this in a, obviously you can only tell us what you can tell us, but will we be seeing any Milo characters in the new Phineas movie?
You know, we were originally thinking about having Milo have there's really only one time that would make sense for Milo to have a cameo, and we even recorded Al saying this line, and we ended up cutting the entire cameo because we didn't want it to look like he had somehow caused this big thing that happens. It
that
became
is
sort of
rough in that direction.
a story thing, because that was the only place where it made sense to have that cameo. But then we didn't want to go like, oh, he's the reason everything went awry when it wasn't really. You know, like it just sort of
I'm safe.
confused
Just
the
slap me in
matter.
as a background character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
There's
Just walking
one-
by.
Yeah.
There's one character. There's one character in Milo that made it to the Phineas and Ferb movie, and it's Trucker Ted, who is voiced by one of the directors, Bob Bowen, and he's always the guy that was delivering something that would go awry, and that would cause some horrible thing that happened in Milo's world.
A spill or like a giant roll of something.
He actually has like one line in the Phineas movie. I think he's part of a big crowd, and I don't know what to tell you what the line is, because it's sort of
we'll see it.
Now, Instagram is about to like kick us off. We've got about 2 minutes. If you want, we can reset, or if you want to wrap it up, we can just end it now.
We can reset. Why, do you only get an hour? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they just
they
literally
cut you off
shut you
hour.
down.
Well,
we'll
let me tell you,
everyone watching, we might not go another hour or anything like that, but we're going to reset so that we can at least finish up our conversation in an actual amount of time. Yeah.
I'll try to tell you a 60-second story that's very
okay.
fun,
Let's do that.
if I can do it really fast.
Yeah,
we had not figured out the story for the Star Wars special. There were big holes and things that didn't connect. We had a bunch of really cool scenes and stuff, and Gary wanted me to go in and talk to the Lucasfilm people who are in the building, and they wanted just a meet and greet. So, well, I can't pitch the show because we don't have the story working yet. And he said no, just go in and just meet and greet them. They know they're not going to pitch you. Eric knows that they're not going to. He doesn't want you to pitch. And I went into the thing, and Eric said, "Oh, great, these are them, and why don't you tell them the whole story?" And I like. Okay, and I went into a pitch, and as I'm pitching the story, I solved 2 story problems that connected the whole thing. And I did this flawless pitch, and they were on the edge of their seats, and they were laughing and everything. And then I had to like leave really quickly and go to the writer's room and say, "Okay, I solved those problems." It's like, before I forgot what they were. I was like, I should have been recording this because it worked so well. So sometimes necessity is the mother of invention.
See, thinking out loud.
That's
sometimes
fantastic.
is very effective.
Yes,
that
exactly.
is amazing.
All right,
all right.
We're going to end this live stream, and we'll be right back. Give us like a minute,
if you guys are with us,
and we'll all be right back.
And then if you have submitted a question that we haven't got to when we come back, submit it again. We'll try to get to it. So join us in just a minute.
All right, we'll be right back.
Stay evil.
You're now live, yeah. I do the song even when Neil is not here to sing the Checking Connection song with me. So we just wrapped up our first hour with Dan Povenimre, and I don't think it's like an hour, but like we're gonna, instead of just like quickly ending our last live stream, we're gonna just reset and finish our conversation here. So thank you for everyone who is already joining me. And we're just working on getting it all set up again. Instagram does not make this easy. They don't make it impossible. They are a little complicated. Dan says hello in the comments.
I feel like once you get...
Oh, there's music now.
Oh, is he strumming?
Yeah.
Hey, are we back?
The first time when you
Where is Neil in the
friends,
bathroom?
No, he's getting me more blue milk.
Okay. Is he going all the way to Scum and Villainy?
No. We picked up. They have a little to-go kit that they're doing as curbside pickup. So it comes with a little Tupperware of blue milk, and then a little Scum patch, and there's a glow stick, some chips, and a fruit by the foot. Which earlier he said he was hungry, and I offered to make him lasagna of fruit by the foot and chips in between. He said that sounded disgusting, so I didn't make that. I am truly an excellent chef, though. Dan, do you remember when we first became friends? Literally, like, I wandered into your guys' office and you were like, yeah, come back and, like, we'll do a pitch and you can come. And I was like, sure. And then after that, you were like, you know, we also do this thing where we hang out and, like, play music.
Oh, up on the roof.
Yeah. And so basically the first time you and I hung out, like, just in a normal, like, chill space, you sat there and you're like, oh, yeah, we actually made a longer version of Gitchy Gitchy Goo and it didn't air, but I'll play it for you now. And I just sat there, like, trying not to cry hysterically.
We did air it eventually.
Yes, you did. It's on the album.
We aired it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, on the, oh, my God. Okay, Pascal.
Is that Fruit by the Yard?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, if you go over there, you'll be by the yard. I can't believe you laughed at that. You must be drunk. All right, we already have questions in the question box, and we're back. We're live. It's happening.
All right. So, Carly says that reminds her of Muletown.
Oh my God.
Muletown was a music festival that we went and did a bunch of songs from Phineas and Ferb at, which was really fun.
Someone just asked if I had an internship with you and Swampy personally. No, I was a Disney intern.
Yeah, she was a Disney. You were actually not even on our show.
No, I was upstairs.
You were doing some boring internship upstairs, but you came down and hung out all the time.
I don't know if you remember. I actually had a very unfortunate situation with my internship. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was just that I interned at ABC Studios while the ABC transition was being made, and ABC Studios was being transformed into a subset of ABC. They had previously been completely separate entities.
Oh.
So everyone on my floor was terrified they were going to lose their job. They didn't know if they were going to transition. So no one wanted to give me, the intern, any responsibility.
Yes.
Rightly so. So I basically just sat around watching pilots all day.
Okay.
So every 2009 pilot ABC had, whether it aired or not, I've seen them all.
Excellent.
Yeah, but then I got bored, so I went downstairs and was like, "Oh my God, I'm obsessed with Phineas and Ferb. It was a brand new show. You guys had aired like half a season,
Yeah.
and it took me like a week to work up the nerve to even go into anyone's office and be like, "Hi, I'm up there, but like I want to be down here." So
that was fun. So, do they have actual questions that they've?
Yeah,
let's see what's going on, and checking yours too.
Oh right. Yeah. So I screenshotted some of them.
Oh look! If you look at my glasses, it looks like I have glowing eyes and I'm really cross-eyed.
Like you're in some sort of an anime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this. Neil actually was trying to tell me that we didn't need to ask you this question, but I don't think he realizes. Someone asked, would Vanessa be a Billie Eilish fan? And I don't think that he understands that you did an entire parody.
I did at.
I do. Yeah.
Yep.
I did bad guy as Doofenshmirtz would sing to. I rewrote the lyrics and stuff, and I did it at a karaoke night at the Disney Channel holiday party, and somebody videotaped it and put it on the line, and it got like 3 million views or something. It was something like that. Which so there were all these, like all these online sites like Mashable and stuff that talks about what's hot on the internet, that had like big cover stories with a picture of me and Billie Eilish next to each other, which made me just a little bit of a hero to my daughters.
You were saying that's the coolest thing you have ever done.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I'd actually done I don't remember why I did the original parody, but I put it online with just like a picture of Doofenshmirtz that I drew, like the cover of the Billie Eilish thing. But
it's so
then,
good.
Yeah. So
is that
was
Vanessa's vibe, or would she be like even like heavier?
I think she would, because it's morose and introspective, and I think that's what.
There you go.
That's what Vanessa is. So
voiced
I
by
think
the amazing Olivia Olson, who is a goddess.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So talented.
But I'm a big Billie Eilish fan, actually. There was an album that came out when I was at Nickelodeon that was like an album that I heard and was like, oh, that's coming from a brilliant spot, and it's something like nothing I've really heard before. And it was Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette's album, which became this. Oh yeah. Like it sort of defined a generation.
Absolutely.
And as soon as I heard Billie Eilish's album, I was like, oh, it doesn't sound anything like Jagged Little Pill. It doesn't sound like anything else. But this is freaking smart. And her brother, who's her co-songwriter, is named Phineas. So I was like, they must have watched
Jim
the show.
sitting over there was like, Phineas.
Yeah,
like right as you were about to say it.
They're the right age. They must have watched the show. That
right.
That makes me feel like, oh, if I ever ran into her, she'd probably at least have seen the show at some point.
You probably have that experience a fair amount, where like you meet someone where you're like excited about them, and they're like, no, but Phineas.
Yes, I've had that several times. where
I've had that experience. I didn't work on the show.
Yes, it's very fun. So Disney did a good job of making it something that everybody got to see, and it's really for that whole generation. They know what would Doofenshmirtz be spending his time doing in quarantine? Basically, exactly this. I'd be talking on social media to people because I have to talk. If Perry the Platypus didn't come over and try to thwart me, I would have to monologue to somebody.
I feel like it would be akin to in Milo, like when he's living in Milo's house and kind of doing a whole lot of nothing. It would basically be that. Like, he'd be sort of still inventing things, but mostly...
He'd probably be on a Zoom call with Perry the Platypus, which would be a very one-sided Zoom call.
Yeah. He'd be busy not curing the pandemic, but finding solutions to make his experience better.
Yes, exactly.
And he'd try to do that, and it would probably result in absolute mayhem, as it normally does.
That's very fun.
Somebody asks, what is... a tough question, I imagine. Picking a favorite child. What's your favorite Phineas and Ferb episode?
People ask me that a lot. There's like 5 answers I have for them.
Tell us your 5 favorites then. I'm here for that.
It's like, I love Roller Coaster. It was the first thing that me and Swampy did, and we wrote it and did that all together, just the two of us, which is really fun. I storyboarded it on vacation in France with my crazy Venezuelan family, and and then there's that one. There's Dude, We're Getting the Band Back Together, which I think is one of the sweetest episodes that we've done, and people always put that as one of their top 5, and to me it's a testament to the fact that Disney was not sure that episode would even work because it's all about the parents, and like it's about kids getting their parents to stop fighting. It's like, that's not something
and not only that, but it's a 22-minute episode.
Yeah, and
like a full.
I love that one. I think that the last half of Summer Belongs to You may be the best thing I've ever done. Certainly the last 11 minutes is my favorite 11 minutes that I've done.
I can't separate that from the Disneyland show.
Yes, it has the same sort of feel, doesn't it? Even though they never do Summer Belongs to You in that show, they do Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
It has the same feel. It has the very same feel. And then there's the Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension movie, and there's Act Your Age, which is one of my favorites for a variety of reasons, and the final episode. I think that the Last Day of Summer is a really great episode on a bunch of different levels. But right now, it might be the movie we're making right now, which may be one of the best things that I've done.
I'm
think
so excited.
I'm very, very happy for it. I finally showed it to my 14-year-old when she saw that it was in color and like it's getting done now. It's still a bunch of retakes and we don't have a final mix and stuff like that. But I showed it to her all done, and she got so excited. It made me excited for what kids that age are going to feel when they see this movie, because it was like
That's
nostalgic
awesome.
and new and wonder, like that. And she cried in the right places, and she laughed. She got really excited. She was dancing.
Oh my God.
It was really, really a great experience.
That brings me joy.
Yeah. So that made me really, really excited.
Now, I know you guys don't have a release date, but is there a vague timeline on when that's going to be available?
They have talked about sometime this summer because it's a summer show, but who knows? COVID has really sort of put things off. We didn't lose that much time, actually. I mean, some things are taking a little longer just because we're doing them from home, but we really only lost like a week in our schedule while they were figuring out how to make the editors able to work from home and us all to be able to see this.
I mean, and since you're obviously hand animating every cell of this entire video,
that's not quite true, but that's
classic hand animation. You're doing cells. We brought Ivan Earl. Ivan Earl has come back from the grave to do all of the effects work on it.
I had to put an oxygen stand in here.
It was not actual drunk, just that's my excuse for everything. Drunk.
For me, I think my favorite episodes, I love the one with it's Peter the Panda, right?
Yes.
I love that because Doof thinks he has a new arch nemesis, and it's just not quite right. And he's like, I want Harry back.
Yes. Yes.
And I love the one.
What's funny is that's on Disney Plus. That's considered episode 1, which it is not episode 1 in any stretch of the imagination.
No.
You know what the first 2 episodes is that one in which Monogram never speaks because he is frozen the entire time, so that it doesn't make any sense to anybody if they start on that one. And then, dude, we're getting the band back together. So people think, well, it's like, I don't know what the platypus is doing, but I guess this is a show about kids helping their parents through a near divorce.
Yeah,
it makes no sense at all.
Their airing orders
We've
are
been
off on
trying
so
to
many
get
things.
it fixed since Disney
but it's
Plus
just the first
started.
season that's messed up, apparently.
It's mostly just the first season.
Because that's second season, but
is it? I thought that was the first season.
Yeah, that's what
I love that's the line from that. Now you're doing battle with a panda from Seattle. I've always loved that line. I think it's hysterical.
The other one that I love is when Vanessa and Candace both think they're gonna bust. The brothers.
Oh, busted! Yes.
Yeah.
I need to cosplay one of them so I can do that on TikTok. Like, I need it in my life. My neck is very it's not swan-like, so I feel like
you should probably go with Vanessa. Yeah.
You can do Candace.
You're less giraffe-like.
You can be Candace.
Yes, yes. Neil can be Candace. I want to see Neil as Candace and you as Vanessa doing the choreography.
Dan,
stretching them out.
In the kitchen the other day doing my own thing, and I heard quietly from the living room Neil explaining to Jim, who's living with us for quarantine, about how the voice of Baljeet voices him, and I was like, this is the cutest thing I've ever heard. And I didn't tell you that I heard you saying that, but I was like, oh my God, this is so sweet.
Jim hasn't seen a lot of Phineas and Ferb, and we're trying to expose him to it, and I was like, yeah, the character that unintentionally was based on me, more or less, is voiced by
it was based on you. The name it was named after you unintentionally.
Yeah.
Yes. It was always going to look like
because of that, he was styled after Neil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's a cool thing for me. Like, especially today, we actually, in the last 24 hours, have watched the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special 2 times.
Because it's amazing.
It's fun.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that guy, him, he, me.
I'll
And
tell you one of
speaking
my
which,
favorite gags in the Star Wars special is when the guy falls through the Death Star shaft and then falls through the bottom of
It's
the
like,
Death Star.
I'll just grab onto the radio antenna. Oh wait, that's Gold City.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of the Death Star, do we have our walnut cracker on hand? I don't know where it is right
No,
now.
oh,
I don't. Yeah, we Disney maybe 5-6 years ago released it's like a mint can, like
it was
they
a
have
mint tin.
yeah, a little mint tin, and it was just the Death Star, but it was almost a scale replica of Doofenshmirtz's walnut cracker.
It was
Oh,
pretty.
excellent.
And we both freaked out and bought it
Yes.
immediately. And it's
Yeah.
somewhere in our house. But
There's
as
so
you
many
can
things.
see, we have a lot of
Memorabilia.
stuff.
Excellent. Yes.
Like there's up there is a Death Star, but I know that's a bouncy ball. So
Yeah, no, that's not the one.
that's not the right one.
Now I was going to ask about songs, but I forgot what I was going to say about the songs.
Oh,
yeah.
there's something Randy Rogel, who wrote all the Animaniacs songs, came in and wrote the Doofenshmirtz song, "I'll No Longer Be the Lowest of the Darths," or whatever. It was like that was he came in and got on the keyboard, and we wrote that with him. And you'll never guess who co-wrote "In the Empire," which you were playing right before this started.
Yeah.
Wayne Brady.
Wait, what?
Wayne Brady from Whose Line Is It Anyway came in.
Friends.
Yeah, and he's a songwriter, and he was like, "Hey," we were like, "Hey, you should come in and write a song with it." And that's just what we were working on at the time.
Oh, that's
That's amazing.
We love that.
And so that whole, like when it stops and Candace does that long speech about everything like that. That was in the demo. That's Wayne Brady singing that.
Oh my god!
Oh, I would love to hear that.
That's very
That's
funny.
He was holding a blaster the wrong way. I mean, it was upside down, and it really was.
Yes, exactly. And he did it sort of barbershop
forever.
quartet.
Yeah.
He did it sort of barbershop quartet, keeping that thing like this. And she held the thing like this, did it like that. Ashley did it different. She just sort of like went off on this rant that was very.
She
funny.
went full Candace.
So, yeah, she went full Candace.
She knows her character.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Now, for me though, Tatooine, I remember the first time you played that for me on your phone at a sushi restaurant, and I sat there like, why am I crying? Like, I don't
It's a great song.
why
I'm very
crying
happy
at a
with
demo?
that song. Yeah, because we wanted Phineas and Ferb to have the opposite arc as Luke, where Luke just wants to get off this rock, and Phineas and Ferb are like, "This place is paradise. I would never want to leave here." And then they get sort of forced to leave there, sort of against, like because they wanted to do the right thing, and so it was fun to just write, and then we had to like look up what womp rats look like and stuff, because there are drawings.
We made a
of
note
womp
about
rats.
that.
About 2 meters, yeah. About 2 meters tall.
We legit made a note about that because Neil went, while we were watching, he goes, "Is this the only visual reference we have for what a womp rat looks like?"
No, we got that from a Star Wars encyclopedia.
Well,
which it's in the encyclopedia.
A New Hope,
and then
after we watched
the
special,
remastered A New Hope does in fact have womp rats
as they're like
as they're
driving
pulling
into Tatooine,
Really?
Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley, thank you.
Yes.
I did not realize that.
Just like a brief, but
we didn't either until we watched it this afternoon.
Because they looked identical to what you guys had drawn, and I was like, "Oh, those are womp rats. That's happening."
There was one line they made us change. Out of all, I mean, they gave us almost no notes. Like Lucasfilm gave us almost no notes of things we had to change because they were really big fans of the special from the beginning. But they made us change a line, and when I saw Force Awakens, I realized it's because that was originally a line in Force Awakens.
What was it?
The line, and I don't. It was something where they just made us change the phrasing of something, which was sort of like, okay, but why? And then I realized that, and the line was, "But why are you helping me? You're a stormtrooper." and they wanted us to say, but why are you helping me? You work for the Empire, or something like that meant exactly the same thing. And then when I saw Force Awakens, I was like, I will bet you that in the original script of that, there was a point where Poe said, wait, why are you helping me? You're a stormtrooper. I'm sure that was in the original script. And they were like, we can't have the same line in this. Yes, I do have a TikTok.
Dan
yes,
does
one
have
of
a
our
TikTok.
one of our audience members asked if you have a TikTok, and
Yes,
we were just talking about that on the phone earlier.
And I have a Twitter at Dan Povenimre. I think
on
TikTok
everything.
is the same. I think it's.
I think
it's
mostly people want to know if you have an OnlyFans.
Yes.
But most importantly, you uploaded your recent "How's Your Quarantine" video,
which
that you
is
made.
Oh,
hilarious.
I did a rap video that like what I've made 2 rap videos since we've been in quarantine. One was just called "Working at Home," where it's just me and my girls, and then Wayne Brady texted me and said, hey, do you want to write a rap song together? And I was like, yes.
And you never say no to Wayne Brady writing a song.
And so we wrote this rap song called "How's Your Quarantine," based on, I called him up, like, okay, I got an idea for the song, because everybody asks me the same question when I see them, and I ask everybody the same question: how's your quarantine?
How's your quarantine?
That's like that. And he said, oh my God, I'm looking at my phone right now, and 15 minutes ago I got a text from a friend with those exact words. And so we wrote a song about how's your quarantine, and how your answer to that question depends on what week you're in. And then I was like, you know, who else do I know? So we got, it's like me and Wayne and Kate McCucci, who's brilliant, from Garfunkel and Oates, Dietrich Bader from American Housewife, and Al Yankovic. You know, and I called them all and said, hey, do you want to do this? And that thing took like 1 week. It took to make that, while nobody was in the same room or anything like that. I was having people shoot themselves on phones and send it to me and stuff, and
but the sound is crisp. I mean, you guys all
sounds amazing.
Collectively did an amazing job of making that a high quality product.
Yeah, and actually it was higher quality, and I ended up using their original phone videos, or the original stuff that they had sent me, that they recorded on GarageBand or whatever, because Danny, who produced the music, I sent it to him, and he sent me back the music tracks. But he also sent me one with with all of their voices mixed in and equalized and everything like that. And it ended up not really sounding like an actual, you know, it wasn't as funny. It sounded a lot more produced. And so I actually went back to the original raw tracks that they had sent me, which was fun.
Which feels more real when you're, you know, it's meant to be a sort of a FaceTime.
Yeah,
you're talking with everybody. Yeah, it feels more like it was live.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun.
So somebody asked, like, forever ago, is the new Phineas and Ferb movie, God, words are hard, going to be a musical?
Yes, of course.
I mean, I imagine so.
But then there were musicals, and then there's like Steven Universe at the bar unnaturally high with like 16 songs in their movie.
I don't think we have 16. I think we have.
That's a lot.
We may have like 13, something like
I'll
that.
take 13 new Phineas and Ferb songs.
But some of them are really
me?
short. Some of them get interrupted.
I like Brick. I'll take them all. I don't care how
one of them,
they are.
One of them, we actually were able to
Brick,
use. One of them is actually a song that we wrote for Phineas and Ferb. We wrote a long version of it, and then only used literally like 5 seconds of it. And we were going to use that 5 seconds again, and I was like, oh, I've got a copy of that somewhere, because I had to give it to Bob Bowen, the director, and say, here, we need something like this here. And he and I found it on my phone and realized, oh my God, we wrote this whole long version of this that we never used, and we were able to use that in the movie, which was really nice.
So
I mean, I
satisfying.
have to assume it's the Doofenshmirtz jingle, and we get to hear the extended
It
cut.
is not the Doofenshmirtz jingle. It is not.
Is it Bowling for Soup?
It is not Bowling for Soup. It was fun to. I actually worked with some other songwriters that I'd always sort of wanted to work with, and a friend of mine from college is Carrie Kirkpatrick, who wrote Something Rotten on Broadway with his his brother, which is a brilliant thing. But he's also been in animation for years, but he's always been in features, and I've always been in TV. So we never worked together. He directed Over the Hedge. He wrote The Rescuers Down Under. He wrote and directed Smallfoot. That was just out. He's a big talent. We were both in bands in college, and we would go see each other's bands, but we never worked together after college at all. And I went to go see Something Rotten on a day that he was going to be there in New York, and we had breakfast the next day, and he was like, "Why have we not written anything together?" And so we had this opening for the Phineas movie that just wasn't working, and I realized, I think it just needs a song here. I wonder, and I called up Gary. He's like, "What are you doing right now?" And he came over with a guitar, and we wrote a song together, which was nice. And
that's awesome.
And it made the whole beginning work so much better. So we did that. We wrote a song that in there with Kate Micucci from Garfunkel and Oates, who's the voice of your character in Milo,
and a really nice human being.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah,
one of my favorite people. And we used I wanted like something that really sounded now and current. And I've got a friend named Emmanuel Kiriakou who has written for every now and current person for years and years and years. He started writing for like 98 Degrees or In Sync or one of those bands, and he's just like this pop songwriter that there's a bunch of songs that you know that are his. And I was like, do you want to write a song for Phineas and Ferb?
That puts a pin in exactly when this person's career started.
Mulan came out and 98 Degrees was super hot.
We watched Mulan a couple weeks ago, and
actually
True to Your Heart came on, and Jim's like, "Who sings this?" And we in stereo, and we're like, 98 degrees.
Like we knew because we both watched Disney Channel.
That's
and they told
funny.
us about 1,000 times.
Yes.
This song by 98 Degrees, blah blah blah. Like, and you'd watch it over and over. Like you had to know who it was.
98 Degrees and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
no,
but what was great with working with him was he knows pop music now so well because he stayed current all these years.
Yeah.
And I was working on, I was just like, how about this for some chords? And he said, yeah, but that sounds really dated because you're hammering the D, or like there was something I was doing, and I was like, oh my God, it does. It makes it sound like 10 years old because I'm doing this one thing. And he picked up something and he just played really simple chords. And then he said, and I'm not even going to record the guitar. He ended up playing the guitar part on his keyboard so that it would sound even more, like that. Wow. And when we were done with it, and he was recording everything as we were writing the song.
Just in case,
this kind of a bass part in, and then we would loop that. And as we're writing all the lyrics and melody, he's adding bass, and then he's got the guitar part here, and he's like this, and he's like, I'm going to add a rise right here. That's going to come. Okay, this is the B section. Now what are we going to do for the B section? And he did that whole thing so that when we finished the lyrics, when we got the last rhyming lyric in, which was just like an hour and a half in or something like that, he went, okay, that's done, right? Yep. I'm going to go next door and get Sarah to sing this. And he just went next door. There's a songwriter there named Sarah Hudson who wrote one of the big Katy Perry songs with her. Her dad was one of the Hudson brothers from the 70s, which you guys don't remember at all.
I've heard of.
But he brought her in. She sang it. And the song was done, ready to go on the radio. Like literally, you could have heard that on the radio. It was just, it was like, like much faster than I thought that could actually happen. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, this is we do this so much that we just have to do that."
Now, of all your collaborations, you're friends with the Anderson Lopez's. How have
Yes.
we not? Is that going to happen?
Well, Bobby came in and wrote a couple songs for Phineas with us. He
Oh,
wrote
he did. That's great.
Okay.
Aerial Area Rug is Bobby.
I love that
and
song.
and the one about being a fly that's him
That's
coming
when
in.
Major Monogram gets turned into a fly, right?
Yeah.
No,
it's
Candace
Candace.
gets turned into a fly.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's when they're
Yeah.
playing hide and seek.
I don't remember the name of the song, but
No, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
remember.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
she's a fly, and all the kids are playing hide and seek in the house. They're like
Yeah.
And she runs into the other fly with Martin Olson's head, and she's like,
Oh,
did you get
that's what I was thinking.
did you
of.
get
It wasn't
turned into
Major
a fly?
Monogram, it was Martin.
I remember it was the first time Neil had seen like Martin just like literally
Was just
on
a
the
picture
show,
of
yes.
Martin.
and he
Yeah.
like lost
I was
it.
like,
He was like,
seriously.
Martin!
Yes. And I think he even did the voice. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he and she says, "Did you get turned into a fly too?" And he goes, "No, I got struck with a human headinator, and look, now I got this stupid thing on." Like it's just a fly that got shot with a human headinator.
My next cosplay.
No, we're Martin stands. We have a problem.
Yeah.
we're like legit obsessed with Martin.
Martin's one of these people that no matter where you go, everybody already knows him.
Right.
He's,
We actually named, when somebody goes on your Facebook, like it's usually like grandma or somebody a little older who doesn't use Facebook as much as you do. And then they go and they like every profile picture you've ever had
in the last 2.5 years.
Oh, because they look through your profile pictures.
We call that Martining because Martin is like living in his own wavelength and existence, and he just sort of like drops off the face of the earth and then comes back and goes,
periodically, he's like, "Oh, I know
like
this person,"
all of it,
and then
your
get
whole
a
life
line of
you got Martin.
Martin Olson liked the picture you posted 2 years ago.
So for about 6 years, we've been saying like, "Oh, I got Martin," but not always about Martin. We'll be like, I'll be like, "Hey, Neil, your mom Martined me today."
Oh, my grandma.
I'm going to tell. Have you told Martin that this is
Yes,
a
I
verb?
have.
That makes me very happy.
But that's our
very
verb.
happy.
You got Martin.
You got Martin.
That's hilarious.
I've even Martined people.
Yes.
What you gonna do?
Which is definitely different than if you're for the viewers creeping on somebody's Instagram feed and you like somebody's photo from 2 years ago and that's all you like. That's not Martining.
No,
you didn't Martin.
That's a Neil.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus
Oh,
like that.
This bus smells funny.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, Dan, I heard you had your guitar before.
Yes.
Did you want to do anything with that?
I've got a lot of guitars.
Ooh.
How many guitars do you
hold on,
have?
I only see guitar heads. I would.
I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 10 or 11 in here, something like that.
Show off your guitars.
Yeah,
let everybody
check out
see.
the collection.
Okay, well, this is I have a
Terry.
Takamine. I've got a Takamine. I've got a little U bass there that I use. I never use that Fender. I've got a Squier Telecaster signed by Elvis Costello, and an Epiphone Les Paul signed by Slash. I've got I've got another Takamine because you can never have too many Takaminis. I got a lot of guitars. At one point, I was getting rid of so many guitars because I had 27, and I got it down to like 10 that I used on a regular basis, and it's since gotten bigger again.
This is Jim. I think you've met him at least once.
Oh, hey, Jim. Yes.
Hey.
We went karaoke
He's
together.
Aficionado.
He's a music photographer.
Yeah, you got my attention with the guitars. Can you show us the Slash Les Paul? I'm curious about which one it is.
It's not. It doesn't look like Slash's Les Paul. It's
signed by Slash.
But we want to see what it is.
Here, hold on.
He's got a number of them. He doesn't play them all.
And it hasn't had a string for a while, so so I haven't played it in a while. This was, remember, Slash did Phineas and Ferb.
That's what Sarah
And
was
so
saying.
it's got the drawings
Oh,
of,
very cool. It's a
that.
special one. That's cool.
That is
so that, and there's
amazing.
Slash's signature there.
And that's second dimension Doofenshmirtz there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
He's got the
Exactly.
his
The scar
his scars
goes over the
his-
eye patch.
Yes.
And did he draw the skull and crossbones on there as well?
He did not.
He has
did
he had
not
his
do.
autograph, and then he has like a top
His
hat
little
with skull and
caricature of
crossbones
him,
that he
yeah.
draw.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's not really space for it here.
Yeah, and he doesn't do it all
Yeah.
the time. He
Yeah.
on his signature guitars, he doesn't always do it. That's why I was curious if he did.
Well, the problem is that it's really not a guitar I can play a lot because right where my arm would rest is where he has signed it.
Sure. Well, and you
So-
don't want to
so I
you
keep
don't
it
want
off.
to scuff any of
But
You
that.
gotta
I'll-
clear
but I'll
coat that
show you
baby
this
about
one.
15 more times.
This one is this one's really cool because Elvis signed it in the perfect place, and I actually record with this Telecaster, but Elvis signed
Costello?
it there,
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
which I
And-
never, it's like I hold it down here. I'm never touching this part of the guitar.
And
so.
not on the pick guard, so you can tell he signed with the guitar and not the pick guard.
Yes, exactly. He didn't sign a bunch of pick guards and then they
Yes.
stick them on guitars.
It's a very Nam thing to do.
Similarly, we have for those of you watching, we have a special plate. If you are Phineas and Ferb fans,
It's
A
very
plate.
special.
it is Ducky Momo's misprint plate.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one. Now, I think we
You've
have
got one
I believe
signed
that's
by me,
yours,
but
yeah?
I don't.
Yeah.
That's yours?
Huh?
So
Your signature?
both you and Swampy signed this plate, but
You can sort of see the remnants of the other
for
signature.
whatever reason, it just faded
It just
off
disappeared.
horribly.
But like,
So we have to
same
come
Ducky
visit.
Momo.
We have to
Same.
come visit again. Yeah, we know you hate people.
I hate people.
Uh, okay, so I just wanted to say hi. You were talking my language, so I want to come on. But we'll have to take you. Have you ever been to the Gibson showroom? And they moved it. It was in Beverly Hills, but now it's in like right on Sunset in Hollywood.
No.
You'll have to go. It's a playground of just walls of guitars and a big
can-
stage. And so I do work with Gibson. So
He
that
can
was one
take
of the
you
ones
if you want to go.
But yeah,
So.
we
Excellent.
should go sometime.
Okay.
Your girls can come too. They have
Well-
a Game of Thrones kind of guitar throne there.
It's
that
Oh, very
everyone
cool.
sits on and stuff. Like it's
He
really
shot
cool.
me on it, and it's seriously amazing.
So
Is it Dave Grohl's throne that he loaned to
So I'm probably not allowed to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk
Axl?
about
It
it.
is.
There's drama about that, but the big answer to that is no. But that
Oh,
is
really?
where the idea of it came from, and they did a
Oh.
horrible version trying to make their own.
Oh my god.
That
Okay.
is as much as I can say on camera. I can tell you more
Okay.
another time.
Okay.
We've all got NDAs on something.
There is
Yeah, right.
there's
Yes.
lots of drama that happened with that thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yes, you
I
guys should go.
I saw the Dave Grohl throne when we went to go see Guns N' Roses at Coachella, which was a which the funny thing about Guns N' Roses at Coachella is because we were there as Slash's guests. We were his
Oh, cool.
comps. And because I've sort of kept in, we don't hang out all the time, but we're sort of in touch, and occasionally we'll
He's
have
really
lunch or
cool.
something. He's one of
really
my favorite
nice.
people. He's one of the not
He's a
genuinely
class act guy.
yeah, absolutely. And so he texts me and says, "Hey, we're playing Coachella, and I can get you tickets. Do you want to go?
That's
don't
awesome.
worry about it if you can't, because we're going to come back through town later and stuff like that." And this is how I knew I'm an old man. This is the barometer for me being an old man. Is my first thought was not, Slash is inviting us to go see Guns N' Roses on their reunion tour as
Yeah.
his personal guest. My first thought was, I don't know if I want to drive all the way out to Coachella. Isn't it supposed to be dusty? It was like, that was literally my first thought. And
If you know anything about Coachella, that's the right way to think, though. Your head is in the absolute right place,
Yes.
if that's what you're thinking.
And I talked to my wife. I said, "Honey, Slash will send us tickets to Coachella. Guns N' Roses are playing. You don't want to go to Coachella, do you?" And she goes, honey, if Slash is sending us tickets to Coachella, I think we have to make that happen. I think that that's not really even a judgment call. We should.
Well, that's the hard part, because you're like, well, you're giving me tickets, but you're not getting me away there in the traffic. You're not really giving me a place to stay. Like,
well, you know,
it's going to be a little bit of work getting there.
You know, we're coming back through town later. I can get you into another show. And, you know,
sure.
So I was thinking, you know, do I want to wait? But like, who knows how much longer they were going to be? You know, like I didn't know how well it was going to work. And then we went, and it was great because we did Coachella right. We went at like 7 o'clock when the sun's starting to set. We saw Ice Cube. I saw Halsey. We saw we saw all these just like 4 or 5 great bands. We had sushi, you know, because there's some really nice restaurants there. Yeah. It's so well organized. We parked in VIP parking and went in through the backstage where all the bands have their little caravans and stuff like that. It was great. And then my wife afterward, because we went backstage afterward, and which was great. But she said, you know, I don't know what I was really expecting from backstage at Guns N' Roses, but that really sedate coffee bar was not it. It was just like a coffee bar with a bunch of middle-aged people hanging out, very, very sedate, very like, would you have some Grey Poupon? You know, it was.
It's not the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that
it was not what it. You know, it was not what it used to be.
And a chaise
lounge. I'm gonna go take a nap. Just wake me up like 10 minutes before we go on.
Yeah,
it was.
This is why we're Clarissa fans.
It's very
you
different.
In particular, you're obsessed with Dan's wife. You guys are best
You made
friends.
that sound very weird. We are very good friends.
It's okay. I'm obsessed with her too.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
so we can't
understandably.
blame him. But like, you and I have been friends for a really long time. But when like Neil and Clarissa met, it was like fireworks. It was like, we're friends now.
We
had no control over
our running gag, and
yes,
it's been like 8 years, 7. Yeah. No, it's got to be 7 because our friend anniversary is tomorrow, and it's friend anniversary 7.
It's like 6 years.
Yeah. So it's like 6 and a half almost. Yeah, you guys have been friends forever.
Yeah. But
okay. So Dan, I'm just going to show you this. So this was I've worked with him on 3 projects, but this was the last project that I got to work with Slash on.
Isn't it great when you get a picture like that? I would show it to you, but it's on my phone. I always tell people that during the heyday of Phineas and Ferb, there was a week where in the same week I got my picture taken with David Beckham, and got my picture taken with Slash. And I always say that if you're a male human being, you shouldn't stand next to David Beckham.
No,
because David Beckham's attractiveness is very selfish. It sucks all the attractiveness off of everybody else. And you end up looking like, do you find me impulsive?
Like you said, you don't work with kids or animals or attractive men if you are comparatively a potato.
Don't put them together because a vortex could open up.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then I had a picture taken with Slash, but the thing is, Slash's coolness is very generous. It spreads onto everybody else.
It rubs off.
And so
he's a level 10 hero.
It's the reverse.
I look cooler in the picture with Slash than I've ever looked in my life or ever will look again.
Absolutely.
You know? That's amazing.
It's
really cool.
I'm gonna say goodnight, but good chatting with you.
Thanks for popping in there, Jim.
It's always good to have Jim on the.
When we talk guitars, Jim has to.
But we usually have Jim as like background audio. It's nice when he actually comes on camera. It makes me happy. So, now Dan, we have about 15 minutes before Instagram is like, bye. Did you want to play anything on your guitar? You don't have to.
I'll play. You know, people always ask me to play songs from Phineas, and I often have to tell them, you know, we wrote these songs in an hour. You know,
10 years ago.
10 years ago. And we never played them again. So most of the time I would have to figure it out. But there's a couple that I still remember, and I'll do this one. My baby's got her own way of talking. Whenever she says something sweet, but she knows it's my world. She's a rockin'. Though my vocabulary's incomplete. I know it may sound confusing, Sometimes I wish you'd give it to me straight, but it never feels like I'm losing. And once I take the time to translate, here's what I'm talking about. Bow, bow, wow. That's what my baby says. Mow, mow, mow. My heart starts pumping. Get you out. Never gonna stop. Get you goo means that I love you. Get you goo means that I love you. Get you goo means that I love you, baby, 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 baby. Get you goo means that I love you.
Ah, fantastic.
I remember the first time when you played the "Don't Need a Dictionary," and I had a nervous breakdown because I was like, "This is such a good line. Why is it not in the episode?"
Well, and this is one of the things that was in, because I think that was in the live show at Disneyland. There was the extended track.
It's in the extended track, and it's in the top 10 that they released.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's the full recording, but it was cut from the episode, I think, because the episode ran long.
No, we actually we wrote only the part that's in the episode first, and it became such a sort of hit
So that
on
was
the
added
show
later.
that we wrote the end of it. And there's actually a bridge I didn't even sing there. There's more
damn.
to it.
Well,
than
and somebody
that.
in the comments just talked about the caveman version, which I also love.
That's my daughter's favorite episode. I think
It's a wonderful episode, and for it to conclude with that song in the caveman version is so.
Yes.
That was a leaky, wasn't it? That episode.
Yeah, it was Aliki and Antoine.
Yes, they were a dynamic duo. Oh my god, the two of them together.
And
it was really fun.
It's so good to see something like that in sort of the Pixar shorts spirit, where you don't really need dialogue to tell a great story. You can have this nonsense.
If you just have some stop motion videos of the creators talking about it, the audience will understand.
What's funny is that we originally, when we were pitching it, you were like, and we should do it all in cave speak, and not anything have any no English in it at all. And I think Martin Olson said, well, how would people know what's going on? And I said, well, just periodically you just cut to me and Swampy explaining what's going on, and that got a big laugh, and so that sort of stayed in.
Yep,
but
that's happening.
By the time we were done with it, we realized we didn't even need us. Everybody could understand it just fine.
Yeah,
the gimmick was super cute, so it was worth having
very
the
fun.
episode.
So we just did comedy there instead of explaining what was written. It was just me and Swampy arguing about whether or not it's even a good idea to do this episode.
Now, before we go on to what other songs are frequently requested of you, do you have a top 3 favorite songs for the series?
I think "Summer Belongs to You" is as good as a song as we've written. I think that "Carpe Diem" is as good a song as we've written. There's a whole bunch. When I'll go on YouTube occasionally because people put up their top 10 favorites, or one guy listed all of them in the order they want. There's 349. I didn't even realize we had written that many songs. And,
some of them are short.
Some
of them are very short.
Some of them are very short. Some of them are brick. Some of them are Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated, or Doofenshmirtz Holding a Bucket. And
I need all of those variants so that I can make them all into ringtones.
Somebody's put a YouTube thing together of all of those, which makes me very happy.
YouTube that you posted a week or two ago, that's just all the Phineas and Ferb songs that are only sung by Dan Povenimre. I was
and one of them's
screaming
wrong.
at my computer.
And it's only when I'm singing as myself. It's not when I'm singing as Doofenshmirtz, or that would be a much longer list.
Yeah.
So the one that they missed is in the CSI Miami takeoff when Phineas puts on his dark glasses, and you hear that, that's actually me. Although you would never be able to tell it's not Roger Daltrey until you sing the rest of it. And because we were looking all over for a Roger Daltrey sound alike, because there's a lot of Who cover bands and stuff, and there's people who could sound like him singing, but they couldn't really do that scream. And I was like, well, I got a big rock and roll scream. Let me try it.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 semitones off of Roger Daltrey. Is what we did. We recorded it a couple different ways, and then it like pitched it to the right thing, and suddenly it was like, oh. And they played it for me, and I was like, okay, now play me. Let me see what's. And they was like, no, that was you. I was like, wait, that was me, because it fooled me. I thought we were listening to the original Roger Daltrey.
Now, I know I've told you via text message, but for the audience, that Summer, just Summer, like that's our collective favorite, like Phineas and Ferb song, and it's on all of our friendship playlists. And
is it Summer, Where Do I Begin?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's such a sweet song.
Ice cream, cones, and
followed
cherry
by
sundae.
Tatooine. So
Huh?
it's those
Yes.
two. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good. I'm always very proud when I see those top 10 lists, because they invariably have songs that I've forgotten that we wrote.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's like,
remember
oh,
you
that
being
was a good
surprised.
song.
I don't know if you were watching Disney Channel at this point when they did the top 10 Phineas and Ferb song like countdown, and it was voter submitted.
This was like
10 years ago.
3 or
No,
something.
this was like after season 1.
Okay.
And the Mom It's Your Birthday song ended up on
it
that
really was.
list.
Actually, yeah.
And everyone was shocked by that, but it's a very tender song.
It is.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people like that one a lot. And you know, it was like number 2 or 3 was Little Brothers.
Yeah,
which is
also
a very
sweet
tender,
song.
sweet song, which has my favorite lyrics, which are, and I didn't write this song, that was almost entirely, I think it was entirely John Barry. He brought that in. It was done. You will always be my little brothers because you're younger, we're related, and you're boys. Which goes on to just like the definition of what a little brother is you're younger, we're related, and you're boys.
That's so good.
A classic.
So good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. But like, do you have a favorite that we haven't talked about yet? Besides Summer, because we love it so much. Is it squirrels? Is it about
Squirrels in My Pants is great. I actually, in having watched the Star Wars special, I love the solo song.
Oh yeah, because I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, we wrote that with Vanessa, with Olivia. She came in.
Oh, that's awesome.
We wrote that together.
She's crazy talented.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. So,
but yeah, that's definitely up there. Like,
then what are your favorites?
You know, there's so many that I like. I was thinking of one just today, which is the Chariot song, because it's got one of my favorite lyrics that we ever did. Because we're writing a song about going around town in these little gas motored chariots, and I remember Martin and I were writing that one night late after work, and we were trying to come up with something that make it sound tough and rock and roll. And I said, you know, it's not street legal, but it gets me where I want to go. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh man, write that down. It's not street legal, but it gets me where I want to go. And I was like,
that's so good.
Like, where did I come up with street legal?
That's street legal. I actually think of Meep.
Oh,
and
yes.
The modifications that they made to the spaceship in that episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
It's not technically street legal.
Yeah.
That's very good. So very fun.
And I actually see squirrels in my pants popping up on TikTok a lot.
Yeah.
And not just in the context of simp, but like
I was gonna say simp has become another term
separate from
on
that
the TikTok, but
I actually do see squirrels in my pants a lot popping up here and there.
What's that?
There's a guy who did a collage like in Photoshop making himself do all of the moves that Candace is actually doing in that. Where, you know, like and then there's another guy who actually did the moves. Like impossible moves. And he did them a little.
That's fantastic.
Did he have
what?
But he didn't have actual squirrels in his pants.
No,
right?
he did not have any. I don't know. None that I could see, but I wasn't looking that closely.
We are not aware of anyone putting actual squirrels in their pants, and we do not recommend that you put actual squirrels in your pants.
Yes.
Looks painful.
But talk about an
Candace.
iconic number.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That was one of the ones that we thought, okay, this is never going to have any life outside of our show because it's too specific to everything like
Unless
that. And then,
you have an Aunt
and
Florence
then the
living
NBA
in France.
used it. The NBA used it as, you know, like to play at their live games with a montage of people dunking. And I was like, really? And then I was like, well, I guess it's step on over and watch me put it down. And it was like, who? Tell me what's making you jump like that. You know, it's like, oh, I guess it sort of does work as an NBA song, which we thought was very funny.
If you cut the squirrels in your pants part, like everything else that's happening is fantastic for them.
Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, I think it was only on matinee games when a lot of kids were going to be there.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Leslie Kay, who created Disney Bound, the entire Disney Bound blog. She was backstage at some music festival in Canada, and oh my god, Bowling for Soup was like playing, and they did the theme song, and she sent us a video, and she was like, "You guys, like this is happening, and I'm backstage, and this is happening live."
Did everybody sing along? That's what's fun about those.
I'm sure they did.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Well, and that's the crazy thing is that now, like this was like 5-6 years ago, but now, oh my god, like the kids who grew up watching your show, they're going to festivals. Like that's like the age right now. Yeah. They're graduating from high school. They're in college.
I feel like they are the ones giving Bowling for Soup like any remaining wind that they have left.
Yeah, they're not just for their time now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a quote.
Yeah, they were for their time.
Yes.
Well, we've got like 3-ish minutes left on the stream here.
Wow, it's like when we hang out with Dan, like we have a great time.
I
time
know.
Stops. Yeah.
What? What?
This was a good way to spend May the 4th.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say for anybody joining us from our streams, thank you so much for coming on with us, Dan.
This is fun.
If you don't know,
it was just good to see you guys because I haven't seen you in 7 weeks or something like that. So sounds good.
We're gonna we'll do a video chat after this at some point. So
for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
If you guys don't know who Dan is, this is Dan Povenimre, co-creator of Phineas and Ferb,
voice of Dr. Doofenshmirtz, an icon.
Yes, and if you don't know who we are,
I'm iconic. Sarah. Hi.
This is Sarah, that princess girl. I'm Neil, Skull Rock Studios.
We together are the Adventure Effect. We make the products that we are wearing on the Adventure Effect, so you can follow us there.
Baby Yoda hangover shirt, then we are your one-stop shop.
But if you want squirrels in your pants, this guy down here, he's your man.
He's got squirrel delivery.
I'm the one who can put
something.
squirrels
I'm not sure.
in your pants.
Yeah, something like that.
Actual squirrels.
Real life squirrels. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Stay at Home in Disney.
And Dan, it's a pleasure.
We do this every night at 7 p.m. Except tomorrow night, we're going to be taking the night off.
Tomorrow, it's our 7-year
friendship
anniversary.
We
like each other.
But after that, what are we doing? We've got
2 nights of Haunted Mansion and Phantom Manor with a live makeup demonstration followed by an actual Imagineer doing a live draw about Phantom Manor.
Yeah. So if you guys love Disney and want to talk about Disney while we can't go to Disney,
come hang out with us.
Come on down, 7 p.m.
And
that
watch
Princess Girls live
Milo
stream.
Murphy's
Oh
Law
my God,
on
watch
Disney
it. It's so good.
Because we're both on it. He made it along with Swampy, and it's great.
It's so good. So, thank you guys for joining us tonight.
And Dan, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always.
As always.
I'll
Wash your hands.
Wear
your masks. Dear God.
Social distance, we know it's hard.
Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And thank you so much for joining us tonight.
All right. Ciao.
Good night, everybody.